What's up, everybody? Tony Lopez with Alternative Living Spaces, and I am super excited for today's video. I get to talk about something that I've been working on for a little over a year now. It's something I'm extremely passionate about, and I think it's a great opportunity for people to make additional income with it. And it's basically the topic of RV renting and renting out camper vans, vintage trailers, and other unique RV rentals on platforms like Outdoorsy and RV Share. So let's jump right in. So back in 2020, me and my wife purchased a cargo van, and over the course of the next year converted it into a luxury camper van. Initially, the purpose of this was really for ourselves to have something that we can take out and go explore nature and travel and just have a fun time together, maybe even do some remote working. Along the way, we started to recognize and see more often RVs that were being rented and camper vans that were being rented. So we started to ask ourselves the question, what if we rented out our camper van? We didn't know if it would be great or not, and we had done a little bit of research on Outdoorsy, and I looked at listings. We're based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I saw someone that built a really nice camper van, and they were getting about $250 per night, and it looked like they were booked out 15 to even 25 nights a month. So this really piqued my interest, and it made me think, man, there really might be some great opportunity here. And so we basically created a listing, posted our camper van on Outdoorsy, and quickly realized this is fantastic. We listed our camper van for $299 per night on there, and right away began getting listings. Like, I remember when our first person rented it out, I think our payout was going to be around $1,500, and it was just being rented for about 6 days. And I thought to myself, man, that might have been the easiest money I ever made. We just cleaned the unit, got it ready, and they rented it out. So right now, we're towards the end of 2022. We've been doing this for just about a year, and I feel a lot more comfortable now speaking about it and giving you feedback in regards to, is this a great way to make some additional money? Is this a good investment? Or are the risks just extremely high and it's not worth it? So looking back over this year, I want to give you a little bit of insight into our numbers and some of the highs and the lows. So we've had a total amount of bookings for 2022, should be right around $30,000 to $36,000. So you can see a unit like this averages about $3,000 per month. Now, we have had some months where it's averaged closer to about $6,000. In other months where we were just getting started, we didn't have a lot of reviews, it was probably closer to about $1,500 to $2,500. Now that we've been doing it for a year and we've generated more reviews, I do expect us to consistently be hitting around $3,000. Now, given our initial investment into our camper van, we did it as a DIY build, and so our costs were not very high on it. Our total all-in costs were under $60,000. So we will be basically getting our return on our investment in under 2 years, which will be great. What we have noticed in doing this rental, though, is that there are some risks and some liabilities. So we did have a situation where someone took our camper van off-road. They ended up running over a boulder. It messed up the underside of our camper van, and that was a $6,000 repair, and it actually took about 6 weeks for that repair to take place. So we had to cancel about $10,000 in bookings during that time period. Now, the upside is that was covered by the insurance that the person purchased through Outdoorsy. But it is really important, if you're going to be listing a vehicle on these websites, that you truly understand their insurance policy for what they cover and what they don't cover, and the proper steps you need to take once damage happens. For us, I wasn't aware that the damage needed to be reported within 48 hours. I kind of accidentally just reported it quickly, but if I happened to wait a little bit longer, there was a possibility that they wouldn't have covered it. So that's really important to know, that if you do use these platforms, you really want to understand what they cover and how to make sure they actually cover that for you. Now, since that experience, we have increased our security deposit. It used to be around $500, and now we have it at $1,000. That hasn't impacted our bookings. We still get bookings really well. And it gives us a little bit more of a security blanket to know, hey, if something happens, at least we initially have that $1,000 and can go towards any interior damage that could be caused. Over the year, I've been looking at other types of RVs that are being rented on Outdoorsy to see how they're performing as well. So everything from larger motorhome type setups to really tiny vintage trailers. And as I've been looking around, I've noticed there's some principles that apply to an effective outdoorsy rental that are very similar to an effective Airbnb rental, which we're a little more familiar with. And I would say the single biggest thing is the unique factor. People are looking for something that stands out and is different from the rest of the listings on there. So I would encourage you that if you're looking to do an outdoorsy rental, you want to rent out a unit that, number one, has the unique factor, and number two, you take really amazing pictures of it so that it truly does stand out. With this knowledge, we've shifted recently to getting some vintage trailers. So we have a old Scamp trailer, it's a fiberglass trailer, and a bowler trailer. And here in the near future, we're going to be testing the market with those. We're also working on a shuttle bus conversion, and that's going to be a fully off-grid, very livable space that we may also put on Outdoorsy, or we might just keep it as a stationary rental and list it on Airbnb. One of my favorite things about being someone who does Outdoorsy is not only do you generate some good additional income with it, but now you have a fun unit that you can take out on the weekends with your family. So this really makes a lot of sense for those of you that you've purchased an RV. RVs a lot of times are a big investment and they can depreciate quickly. So it really is helpful if you can cash flow by putting it on Outdoorsy, and 3 weeks out of the month while you're not using it, it's actually generating money for you. In all, we've been really happy with how Outdoorsy has been, our experience renting out our unit on there, and we're excited to have another several listings going live here in the very near future. We're also going to be launching a division where we're going to manage other people's RVs on Outdoorsy for them. So they'll be stored right here at our facility in Las Vegas. And so would love to connect with you if you have an RV, but maybe you don't have the time to manage it. Vegas is number 2 in the country for RV rentals. So we can store it right here at our shop. We'll manage everything for you. And then we do a profit split on the back end so that you're cash flowing and it covers our expenses to manage that. For more information, please contact us. You can visit us online at alternativeliving-spaces.com. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel, and excited to get you more outdoorsy content here in the near future.